Hello, welcome to Little Cinder's World, welcome to a reading vlog. It has been quite a while since I last did a reading vlog, but here I am to do a reading vlog of Alison Weir's historical fiction book on Henry VIII. This is the second book in the Tudor Rose series and I'm really excited to get to it. I haven't even picked it off the shelf yet, but I thought we could do that together in a minute. But first, I thought what we could do is discuss my hopes for this book. I have three hopes for this book. And I thought we could kind of discuss them together before we kind of get into the actual reading of it. So my first hope for this book is that we see relationships with people that are not his wives and his children. I do find in like historical fiction about Henry we do tend to focus on that, and that's not a problem at all, but I would like to see relationships with, like, at the beginning, like his mother. I would like to see relationships with his sisters. I'd also like to see the progressive relationship that he has with his sister Mary, who he marries off to France, and then after, when she's meant to return home, she marries Charles Brandon. Oops. Henry's friend, and I'd like to see that relationship progress and the changes that ensues, because sometimes she can be completely dismissed and I don't think she should, and it'll be interesting to see if she's there. That's the first hope, to see like family outside of his wives and children. Second hope is that I'd like to see Henry justifying himself to the ending of people's lives that very clearly didn't deserve to end. So people like Sir Thomas More. What? Yeah, I'd be interested to see the justification of that, and people like Henry Howard, as well as his wives, like justifying why he is signing their life away. And then my third hope is that I see a change in myself towards him. So I should, fingers crossed, if this is a brilliant book that I'm hoping it is, I should really like Henry at the beginning as a young boy, and hopefully he'll steal the show, the limelight a little bit at his brother's wedding, and I really like him as a young 17-year-old king coming to the throne. That's what I'm hoping for. But then really changing my mind about him and being like, oh, you are an absolute turd that I know you for. You know, there's got to be that tyrannical change. So yes, shall we go and pick the book off my shelf? Can you see Lady there? It's from Lady and the Tramp. Yes, anyway, shall we go and pick the book and start reading? Yay! But first, bit of puppy cam. Good morning to this special squidge. Oh, you're beautiful. Aren't you beautiful? Let's just lay here. I'd love to know if anybody else's dog does this, where they just lie on the backs of the cushions so that their cushions have an indent. Yeah, ours do now. Oh, you're lovely and warm. You're in a little sun puddle. Nice and warm. Yes. Right, you're a good boy. You stay there. Yes, you're going to stay there while Mummy gets the book, and then we'll do some reading. Do you want to do some reading? Yeah? Would that be fun? You're such a good boy. Yes. Okay, so we're going to pick the book now. It is on this shelf, which is my historical fiction shelf. So I need to move Jane. This is Jane. So these are my Tudor ladies that I love so much. I've done a video on them, kind of showing them off in more detail. But this is Jane. I need to take her off. Excuse me, Jane. Because there is the book. So here we have it. Boom. And let's put Jane back very carefully. There we go. Right, time to sit down again. Oh, look, I brought you a book. Do you want to read it? No? Okay, I'll read it instead. Okay, so here is the book, Alison Weir, Henry VIII, The Heart and the Crown. This is the second book in the Tudor Rose series. So we had Elizabeth of York, Henry VIII, and then his daughter Mary becomes Mary I. This, of course, is beautiful. I didn't get this when it first came out for two reasons. One, it's quite pricey. And two, I was waiting to see if Alison Weir was going to be at Cheltenham Literature Festival the year it came out. And and if so, I would go to Cheltenham Literature Festival and get a signed copy, but she wasn't. But it didn't matter because I bought this off eBay for £11, including postage, and then when it arrived I was just flicking through it, like looking at the quality, and ta-da! It is a signed copy anyway. Yeah, this is signed. Not signed obviously to me, but it doesn't matter. But yeah, it's a signed copy, which is fabulous. So let me show you the beautifulness that is this book. So of course we have the cover, beautiful, but then, oh, look at the inside. It's so, so beautiful. Just so spectacular. Oh, I love it. Before we start reading, I just want to share with you how beautiful it is. Like, I love the detail that they go into with this Tudor rose, and then obviously a little mini Henry. This is the spine. This is the back with all these fabulous people saying wonderful things, and then, oh, there we are. Isn't it a fantastic picture? Just wonderful. And there it is, signed. Eee. So I've got a signed copy anyway. And then as usual, we often have family trees. And dedicated to Kate. I'm pretty sure her daughter, she called her Catherine after Catherine of Aragon. I'm sure she said her at a festival once. Right, are we ready? Prologue. He was dying, he knew it. Time to start reading. You look so comfy there. Yes, you do in your little sun puddle. I would like to know if anybody else takes off the dust jacket when they read, because I don't want to get damaged. So I just read like the naked hardback. Right, I still can't get over how beautiful this is. So stunning. Yeah, absolutely beautiful. So, right, I'm going in. Let's begin. So I am now part 2. I feel a little bit emotional. I wasn't expecting to feel emotional with a book on Henry because I don't like Henry. To be honest, I don't like him. So I was feeling a bit. Oh, my eye's doing this weird twitchy thing. Does anyone else get twitchy eye? I wasn't expecting to feel emotional because I don't really like Henry, but yeah. So what I was kind of hoping for in terms of him having relationships with like his mother, sisters, grandma, like the women around him, not really. But that is because, so the prologue of this book is Henry is dying, and he's kind of, then chapter 1 we go backwards and look at his life from childhood, but we look at it from the point of after their mother has died. So we're not going to get anything with his mother, but we see the effect of it. So we see him very, very visibly upset, and then the first couple of chapters are him growing up motherless, heir to the throne because his brother died before his mother died, and having the relationship that we see is the relationship that he has with his father, which is it was a bit of a difficult relationship because they have very, very different views. Oh, the sun is doing something funky, isn't it? They have very, very different views on kingship. And when Henry does come to the throne, we see them, you know, the way that they both ran their kingdoms was very different. But yeah, we finished the first part with the death of Henry VII. And yeah, I felt a bit emotional with that because I don't know why. I'm not a big fan of Henry VII either. You know, I don't. You know, and I'm surprised that I feel a bit emotional. You know, out of. You know, I wasn't surprised that I was emotional when I read Alison's book on Elizabeth of York. That didn't surprise me because I like Elizabeth of York. But I'm surprised that I feel a little bit emotional reading this. Yeah. But anyway, going on to part 2. I like how each part we get something from Henry's own words himself. And I like that. So yes, on to part 2, where Henry is newly appointed king. We're going to have his coronation. We're going to have him marrying Catherine of Aragon. We're going to have all that, I'm guessing. And I don't know how far this part's going to go, but yeah, we'll see. Hello. I'm very aware that it looks like I haven't moved, but I promise you I have. I have actually done a washload of washing. I put wash liner down and I put out, so I have actually done something, but little one is wanting to go for a WALK, so I'm going to do that now. But I thought I'd show you where I am. I'm here. I've read quite a bit. I am now on about to start chapter 9, 15-14, page 142. Really enjoying it so far. I've just finished the bit where so the original marriage that he's had for his sister Mary has fallen through because of alliances, and now a new match has come about, which of course is France, and it goes through quite quickly. But the bit that I just finished was standing at Dover, and Mary says to her brother, like, please, like, allow me to marry who I choose next time. Because obviously she didn't want to marry the King of France. He's a lot older than she is. It's not a love match, and her brother reminds her that she is a princess, and the role of princesses is to do your duty by the king, which is in this case her brother, and the kingdom in which she's from, England. So for England she has to marry France for the political alliances that it will provide. But yeah, she has just asked her brother, like, can I then go on, because he is a lot older, you know, to marry who I choose next time. And he's like, oh, go on then, thinking it's I don't know what he's thinking, but she's certainly thinking one way and he's definitely not thinking that way, or certainly hoping not to anyway. But yeah, that was really good. As I said, I was hoping that there was going to be this relationship develop between Mary and Henry, because Mary is quite present at court for you know, a while, and an important part. You know, him and Mary were very, very close, and yeah, so I really enjoyed reading that, and I had a little smirk on my face, like, you don't know what's coming. So yes, anyway, I'm gonna go and take little one out now. The sun is like really quite bright today, but I think it is quite cold, so yeah, but I'm not going to take my camera with me, so I will be back and we'll read a bit more. I was hoping that I was going to get through quite a chunk today, maybe even do half of it, but I'm definitely not going to, because I didn't realise this book was like 600 pages. I'm like, okay, maybe not. But anyway, yeah. WALK time. Does Puppy want to go for a walk? Do you want to go for walkies? Pup pup? Shall we go walkies? Come on then. Oh, big stretches for the walkies. Yes. Oh, big yawn. Yes. Walkies time now. Walkies time. Yes, hello. Hello, walkies time. Oh, hello. We're back. That was quite cold, hence I'm a little bit like red in the face. Oh, it's nice in the sun, but when you're not in the sun, that is quite a cold wind. But anyway, it is that time of the afternoon where I have succumbed to the Diet Coke. That's nice. And I'm going to read a bit more. And then again, I'll do some jobs, read. So like, reading is my reward for doing the housework. But little one. Hello. You're so handsome. Oh, yes. Is that you? We're just chilling. And I'm hoping that he's going to have a little nap while I read a little bit more. And yeah, wait for Henry to be furious with Mary marrying Charles. Fun. It is very sad how the relationship between Henry and Catherine is just breaking apart through, you know, each pregnancy that happens and takes place, and then losing their little baby Henry when he was like 6 weeks old. That was quite hard to read. And it's just, you know, some couples become stronger, some couples they're breaking, and this is a couple that is breaking. And it's hard. It's a difficult situation, and yeah, it's hard to read, but yeah, I'm really enjoying it so far. I do think Henry is a bit of an arse. Like, I thought I'd quite like him, but I don't. So I'm thinking, if I don't like him now, how am I going to feel much later on down the line? Because we've already, like, Sir Thomas More's already been about, and my heart went, ooh. So, yeah. Anyway, cracking on. So here we go. Chapter 9. Right, it's quite a bit later now, quite a bit darker, as you can see. I've got to here. I'm going to do a little bit of reading now. My mother-in-law came over, hence why I stopped. But chapter 13, 15, 20, page 198. I'd just like to get over the 200-page mark. But I want to show you this. So my husband bought me this. And it goes around your neck. And then you press these things. And then it keeps getting lighter, and then you turn it off. And there's one each side. I'll show you. So excuse the fact that it looked like a toe. But I put it around my neck, and then I can read in the dark, and it's wonderful to read your book. So it's kind of like a reading light, but like a neck version of a reading light, and it's fabulous. Right, I'm going to read one more chapter, and then I think I'm going to spend the rest of the evening watching. I've started watching To the Manor Born. So I think I'll watch a couple of episodes of that, and then I've also started rewatching Sex and the City again. So I'll probably watch a few episodes of that before I head up to bed. But I will catch you again tomorrow. Hello. Good morning. For you, this will be a matter of seconds. For me, it's been 3 weeks, 4 weeks, something like that, since I last filmed. Because I am exactly the same place. I just put this book down and didn't pick it back up. Why I hear you cry? Well, I think I just kind of struggling a little bit with it. I think in my head, you know, I always say like, oh, I have these, what I hope for the book. And then when the hope doesn't kind of pan out, essentially I am reading a book about a man that I despise, who I think is an utter a-hole, and reading about the history of his victims, essentially, and it makes for really uncomfortable reading. I suppose that's good writing by Alison Weir in a way, because I'm so infuriated by him, but I did want to see a nice side of Henry, and I don't see that at all. So it's been quite a few weeks since I last picked it up, but we are going back in today. I cannot remember where I got to. I'm not too far in, but just been and got the blanket for me and Pup to share, and we'll sit down and we'll read this. So, where are we? Oh my gosh, it's got dust on it. Chapter 14, 15, 20. Oh, so we're still with Catherine then. I can't remember if he had started his obsession with Anne, if I got to that point yet, but not quite, but let's see how we get on today, shall we? I'm not going to say I'm going to read a lot. This is definitely going to be a bitty vlog, like bits and bobs, and yeah. But the thing is, in my head, I can't like read anything else historic because I'm still reading this. Even from another time period, like there's this book on the women's suffrage movement that I want to read. And I'm putting off reading it because I'm still reading this, even though they have nothing to do with each other. But in my head, I just can't like read another history book until I finish this one. So, has to be done. Anyway, I will crack on. Chapter 14, 15, 20. I have some concerns about the Duke of Buckingham, Wolsey said. Let us continue. Okay, it is, I don't know how much later, an hour probably, not long. It's just coming up towards 10 AM and I've read a little bit. I've read like 3 chapters, something like that. So I'm a little bit far through, but I'm not gonna lie, the struggle is real. The struggle is real. I think I'm gonna have to push through this. I do want to read it. Like, I should say, I am not averse to like DNFing books, but part of me is enjoying it, yet part of me is infuriated with it because I'm infuriated with Henry. And yeah, it's just the struggle is real. So I just read a few chapters and then I watched a YouTube video and stuff like that. Sorry if you can hear my washing machine, I put a wash on. So yeah, I think that's how it's going to work for me. I'm going to read a chapter, do something, read a chapter, do something else. I would like to know if for anybody else the struggle hits with this book or if it's just me being awkward. Please let me know. So, me again. I'm putting this book down, I think, possibly for the whole of today, certainly for the rest of this morning. I'm here now, so I'm doing all right. But spoilers, but not really. So Henry VIII's sister Mary, Duchess of Suffolk, she dies in the 1530s, 1533 to be precise. And I love Mary. I think she's got a lot of she's got a lot of fight about her, a lot of integrity. I really like her. And she was the sister that Henry was closest to. But look, such a small little section. That is the section of her passing. It's so small and I love her and I want more time with her. I have a wonderful non-fiction book actually on Mary that I've spoken about before. La Reine Blanche, something like that. I think it's the White Queen, but in French. I didn't do very well at French at school. Anyway, yeah, and I was just like, oh, I wanted more of Mary, or more on the effect of Mary's passing on Henry. You need to have another sibling that has then died before he has. So yeah. So yeah, I kind of got to the end of that chapter and I'm just like, yeah, I just need to put it down for a bit now, again. So who knows when I'll see you next. I apologise for this vlog. Maybe I'll pick it up again later. Come on, Lil. Hello. For you, it's just such a small time since you last saw me. For me, it has been about a month since I last picked up this book. This book is not speaking to me at all. But today is the day that I feel like I just need to power through. I'm here. I'm over the halfway mark. And bear in mind that that bit at the back, that is the end. And that bit is like extra bits. So we've got the English Royal House of 1547, author's note, and then we've got notes, etc, etc. So yeah, I just felt like today is the day that let's just smash it out, because I just want to be done with it, which sounds terrible, I know, but you never know, it might improve for me, so we'll see. I have come and sat in our conservatory, that's the garden, so yeah, I thought any place where I'm going to really enjoy sitting and reading, it's in here. Of course, I have my sidekick with me. Here he is. Are you going to say hello? Yes. So he is just in his spot, looking out onto his garden, seeing if there's, yes, your garden, see if there's any birdies or squirrels. Oh, yes, you know that word, don't you? So yeah, we're going to sit together and read. He'll probably go up on that sofa. It's not a sofa, it's a chair. Probably go up on that chair, or he'll come on this one. Are you coming up? Come on then. Yes, I know him too well. Right, this may be a little bit difficult to read now. Oh, and he's laid down too. Okay, yeah. I'm not sure how I'm gonna read in this situation, but I don't care. I'm enjoying the cuddles, so yeah, I'll check in with you in a bit. I can't even remember where I got to. Where am I? Chapter 25, 1534. Oh, you settle down, little one. Right. See you in a bit. Say bye-bye. I knew it would happen. He was sat on me for a little bit, and then he's just like, and then he went outside for a little bit, and then he's come on his chair. And he might just rest his eyes, unless a bird comes across or something, and then he'll be up and at him. He's just doing a little bit of pruning of the claws. Paws. Oh my goodness, can't speak. But look how beautiful he is. Yay. So I've just got to this bit with Catherine Howard's end, and Suffolk said, "The end was swift, she did not suffer." And then Henry saying, "By God, she must have suffered beforehand." Henry swallowed. I feel like Henry is such a turd hole. He drives me crackers. Like he must know. He obviously knows like how people are feeling. And I think that's part of the book that for me is written really well. Like he blatantly knows like that these people are that he's sending to the scaffold are really struggling, and they're mentally like fatigued as well as like going through physical pain, and it's just like, but does he care that much? No, not really. He does it anyway. But yeah, I quite liked how that was written. I thought that was quite good because he's very aware, but he does it anyway. But also how something else that I do like is how influential people can be. So for instance, the councillors say like Dear and Culpeper, you know, they were executed beforehand, and then Henry's like, well, I'm just going to imprison Catherine for life. And they're like, well, it might look a bit dodgy if you don't follow through with it for Catherine, but you have for the men. So he's like, oh, okay, she'll die on Monday then. And it's just like, it's so easy, like, influential, because in his head he has this image that he must be, and yeah, if he's not that image, then he doesn't want to be anything. So, yeah, he's absolutely infuriating. But yeah, there's a couple of bits that I am enjoying now. I will say, now that we are like going through the Wise at a much quicker pace, you know, I am enjoying it more so, I think. But yes, I am just now on to the final part. Well, I'm presuming it's the final part, part 4, winter. So let's do this. Okay, last bit, literally last couple of pages, then I'm done. And I am done. Boom. Finally. I am now finally done. I have finally finished reading Henry VIII, The Heart and the Crown by Alison Weir after months of reading it. What are my thoughts? Well, you know how I feel about certainly the beginning. I had hopes for it, certain expectations that didn't come to pass, and that's fine. But I think for me, something that I have definitely struggled with is the timeline of it. I completely get what Alison Weir's done. Alison Weir has, I suppose, quite rightly, she, you know, the book has been split into, you know, you spend your majority of time with Henry married to Catherine of Aragon, because that's the person that he spent the longest time married to. Then you get a good chunk of time with Anne Boleyn, because he was with Anne Boleyn for about a decade, although not married to her for a decade, but you know what I mean. And then after Anne Boleyn, it all goes really quite quickly. And I think I just kind of struggled with the fact that it feels like there's a different gear shift. It definitely felt like there was a different pacing in the first, like, I don't know, I suppose the first kind of over half of the book, kind of essentially where I was today, there was an absolute gear shift compared to where I had been before. So I suppose 2/3 of the novel, or just over halfway, I guess, is quite slow paced, but then the rest of it was really quite quick, because we have to put all the, I suppose, the kind of interesting bits in. I hope you can see me okay, and I've got the light behind me rather than in front of me, so yeah. I feel really mixed about rating it, because there's parts of it that I thought were really, really well done, and were certainly Henry. Obviously I didn't get the Henry that I wanted. I wanted to really enjoy Henry and then see this twist into this tyrannical turd hole, but we didn't get that. He was just an a-hole from the get-go, to be honest. So, you know, there was that side of him, but I really liked the fact that we got to see, you know, his passion for architecture and the arts, that we got to see how easily people could manipulate him, because they understand that he has this vision of how he wants to be as a king. He is fascinated, he always has fascinated with, like, Old English kind of ideas of, you know, Arthur, Knights of the Round Table and all this stuff, and chivalry, and that's his idea of being a great king. And you know, people know that, and people play on that of what he wants and expects to be kind of immortal in the eyes of history, and people can play on that for their advantage, and I thought that was really well done. And yeah, I do have some plus points to it. Obviously it wasn't a book that I wanted to pick up and read all the time. I think had it had that pacing that it did at the last bit of the book, but earlier on, I think I would have actually really, really enjoyed it, even though of course I didn't get the Henry that I wanted to see at the beginning. I just had the Henry that I know at the end. So yeah, I guess 2 stars. Is that mean? I don't know. Has this vlog been really, really boring for you? I apologise if it has. I now haven't done anything But that's also it just hasn't motivated me to do stuff, you know. Usually when I pick up a book and I'm really, really enjoying it, I want to, you know, I don't know if you can hear that, there's a bird on the roof. I want to like take it everywhere, and I want to sit and read in the garden and, you know, take it literally all around the house for me. And I want to read it while I'm eating, I want to read it while I'm doing my nails or watching TV or whatever, and I just become so engulfed in it. But with this one, it just sadly didn't hit me that way. Well, the last bit did, early bit didn't. So yeah, would I recommend that you read it? Yes. Do I think everyone's going to love this? No. I can definitely see why people have struggled with it, because I have struggled with it. I think for me, I struggled with 2 reasons. One, I didn't see that change in Henry. It was just instant, always a bit of an a-hole. And then other reason, pacing. But there are some really good bits to it as well, so such a shame. Of course, there is another book to this trilogy, which is on Mary the First, which of course I will be doing another vlog on in the future, which I am looking forward to, because I think, well, I'm hoping Alison will write Mary how I think she deserves to be written. She has a nickname that I don't think she deserves, and hopefully Alison will put that right. Anyway, let me know your thoughts on Henry VIII, The Heart and the Crown in the comments section below. Did you enjoy it? Did you not enjoy it? Did it take you months to read it like I did? Oh, terrible. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. Take care, and I shall see you soon for the next video. Bye for now. And Puppy says bye-bye too. Say bye-bye, pup. Woof, woof. Bye-bye.